is my first YouTube video as far as like interviewing a person and shit like that. So you know what I'm saying. But I'm gonna just let y'all know how Mansa and I met. So I went to Vegas and I got a homeboy. Shout out to X. X is on his own journey as far as studying, you know, being free. So he had an event coming up and he was bringing someone there to study consumer law, and I had already been introduced to it a little bit, but you know, I had been struggling trying to figure out how I was going to get on to the next step. So he had flew me out to Vegas, all expenses paid, for real, and then you know, he had gave me tickets to the event and in order to compensate for my, you know, my pricing or whatever. So when I got to the event, man, that shit was really life-changing. Like, when I tell you life-changing, it was life-changing. And he was actually the speaker, so, you know, I'm going to let him introduce himself to y'all and tell y'all a little bit about him.
What's going on, y'all? My pleasure to be able to meet you guys, you know what I'm saying, all that. First and foremost, y'all, my name is Mansa Mahatha McMullen. I go by Chief Mansa, Mansa, however you will. And I started consumer law, but before that, let me just show you my timeline. What introduced me to consumer law, because I haven't been this long, but I have like been able to catapult at an unbelievable rate. Okay, I can explain that. It's not me just saying, I can prove it. But started my journey. Before this, I was doing contract work, like warehouse work, going state to state, driving the forklift. Some of y'all may know what order selecting is. But basically what happened from that, and while I was at work, I would always listen to inspirational documentaries like Denzel. I just listened to guys like him, 500. I was listening to Bandman Kevo at the time. So I was trying to clean my credit at the time, because at the time I'm thinking credit scores I'm thinking the credit score is the name of the game, you know what I'm saying? The higher your credit score is, you feel me, you can do more with that. So that's what I was learning. So as I'm on the forklift, I started listening to a podcast called Truck and Hustle. They got a new podcast now. I think it's like EYBL or something like that. I don't want to mispronounce it, but the founders of Truck and Hustle, all right, that's who I was listening to, and they had a brother named Brother Umar, the founder of Bureau Bullies. So
everybody always refer back to them. Why
yeah, because they was, to me, they was the first one. Well, I know Brother Umar, he was the first one to even, man, when he said that there's no laws out there that say you got to pay bills, and he learned from a guy that's named Ozma. And Ozma definitely somebody that understood the law, okay, and from her information, she was able to teach Brother Umar. So Brother Umar, like, man, when I met him, man, powerful brother. When you meet him, you think he older than you. You know what I'm saying? It was 20. I think he was 26 at the time, 27.
He got that much knowledge.
Yeah, man, like for real. So, but back to it. When I'm on the forklift, all right, I'm doing my job. So I'm listening to the podcast. I got my AirPods in. Next thing I hear him say, "Oh yeah, you know there's no law to say you got to pay bills," and like something came over me. You know what I'm saying? It's like my body just stopped. He was like, "There's no law to say you got to pay bills," and that shit stuck with me. So when he said that, and the host that was talking to him was actually like, "What do you mean there's no law to pay bills?" He was just saying there is no law that says you have to pay a bill, but there is a law that says a debt collector can't call your phone, which is brought in the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act, the FDCPA. So when I'm hearing this, I'm like, what the hell? Who is this dude? You know what I'm saying? I got to practice. I was like, who is this dude? Do he got more information? So I looked him up on this YouTube. No, I think it was YouTube. No, was it YouTube or Instagram or Facebook? One of them. And I seen he had a class in LA. So keep in mind, this is in December. So I'm on the forklift in December, working. This is 2020, December 2020. So then I found out he has a class in that, I want to say 5 months later, right, in LA. So I fly out there. So me and the mother of my child, we fly out there and take his class. So I got the VIP tickets, So and that's my first time even going to anything like that. So went to VIP ticket. So I got to talk to one-on-one with Brother Umar. So I had a little story that I was telling him what I was doing on my own. So the next day in his event, he let me speak at his event.
Really?
Yeah. So he let me tell my story, my Rolls Royce story. How I went into the Rolls Royce, got around the down payment, just using straight loss. I didn't get the Rolls Royce, but just simply he was like astonished how I got to the point of getting around the down payment, and they was all officially about to give me a contract, but then they started doing a lot of things on the back end that I didn't understand. So from there, I was studying USC's. Brother Umar showed me how to look at the law, because before then, you know, from in the streets, it's like fuck the law. You know what I'm saying? We don't want them to do the law. We don't want to be in no court. So he's the first one that's saying no, man. You want to have a administrative process about yourself, because the same thing these corporations are doing, we're supposed to be doing the same thing. So that's when I started my learning journey. So from him, I started listening to Brother Truth. Brother Truth was teaching about UCCs as far as estate planning and things like that. And that also was important. So I was like, oh damn, so it's way more to this, you feel me? So it was like a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So from him, I went to Brother Isaiah. Brother Isaiah was the first one I seen talking about the Bill of Exchange Act. So when I started reading the Bill of Exchange Act, it basically breaks down how you're supposed to be endorsing your bills and shit like that. So, you know, most people go to work, get money, and then use that payday's money to pay the bill when that's incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's like 98% of people do it like that. Go to work or they'll start a business to pay their bills when the bills are already paid. But I'll explain that. But so I went to Brother Isaiah. From there, I would listen to a guy named Patrick Devine on YouTube. So he's the one that brought in the taxes for me. Started talking about you need to assess the tax. So from all the information I was going from, I just put it all together in my own way of understanding, put it in my life, whatever I was doing in the past, so I can have a better understanding of it. So I want to say about 3 months later from all that, I endorsed my first bill. I took over my apartment, and I had an apartment in Greenville, South Carolina. So took that over, and what I mean by that is I endorsed the whole lease, sent it in to them, and basically I didn't hear nothing back from them at all, never. I didn't pay any rent, no nothing. So from there, I started creating my own courses and started teaching folks how to do it also. And I have people now that don't pay any rent, they don't pay any car notes, got titles, deeds to the crib, endorsing their credit card, meaning when they say your limit on the credit card is $5,000, right? And you go max that $5,000 out, and they send you the bill. You'll endorse that bill, send it back to them, and they'll use those credits that you just sent back to them and apply it to the account. And that's how that's why they call it an open-end credit card. If you know how to make it open-end, because they're not going to just tell you, hey, you know you can just make this card open-end, you feel me?
Right, because they ain't going to get no money.
Hell yeah, they get more money by you paying it twice.
Yeah.
So if you're in a mortgage right now, you paying monthly, you repaying the debt that's already paid. If you paying the car note, you basically are repaying a debt that's already paid. That item was already paid, because most people say, well, where did the money come from? How did it get paid?
Right, I was about to say, you know, you talking to the masses right now, so they like,
that's
well,
what
the fuck?
Yeah, so this is what it is. So when you first go to apply to anything, you see, it don't matter what it is, y'all, even if it's a job, all right? But we're going to keep it on a consumer credit transaction, meaning when you want a car or you want an apartment, you got to do what? You got to apply, right? So that means you put your first, last name on there, right? You put your social, and then you're signing it. See, most people think putting your social is for background purposes and credit checks.
But that's not even a form of identity for me.
Nah, hell nah. You know what I'm saying? So what they're doing, when you give them that application, y'all, you literally give them your first name, last name, the name that's on your social, which is the name that's on your social. All right, then you giving the social, whatever your social is, you put it on the application. Then you're signing the bottom, y'all. Y'all literally, we are giving them blank checks. That social is a direct account to your social security account. All right, we all have social security accounts. Each and every last one of us. If you have a social, you have a social security account. And I'm here to let you know you are a billionaire.
Damn, I was just saying millionaire. You said billionaire.
Nah, you're a billionaire. Because you got to think, when you born, the minimum of that birth certificate that they start trading on when you born is $6 million.
Jeez.
You feel me? You got people like that's 50 years old, 60 years old. So you got to...
And it grows.
Yeah, because it's interest. Interest accrues. So if you, it's like you putting your money somewhere and letting it build and you forgetting about it.
Yeah.
But you got some people dying not even knowing about it.
Yeah. So basically you out here really being a hood consumer and letting people know that, you know, this is here. You don't have to actually live this hard ass life.
Man, hell nah. That's what the upper class is. That's how the upper class is living. That's why that's why this information can't get to the lower class. You know, so they're not even really worried about it no more, because it's like this information is out here now.
And the motherfuckers starting to find out.
Yeah, we starting to find too many people finding out about it now. So when you see all the kind of things on the news and things like, oh, it's about to crash market, you gotta just understand you're an individual bank yourself, because you have a social, you have a whole account that possesses billions on your behalf through consumer credit transactions. You can only use it through consumer credit transactions, so you'll never see somebody in consumer law having an ass of cash taking the pictures on you. You know what I'm saying? That ain't real money, y'all. That's monopoly money. That's when you see the top of any of your bill, $100 bill, at the top of it says Federal Reserve note. Okay, that's a note. That's just a note to pay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you know when you spend that note, what do you get back? You get a receipt if it's legal business.
So you saying the receipts is that's the actual money that you want.
Yeah, the receipt is what you hold on to. So how many of us throw our receipts away?
I know I did.
Yeah, you feel me? I know I did too before I knew all this. I don't like, nah, you know, they be like, you want your receipt? I'm like, nah, care about that goddamn receipt.
Yeah, all that paper.
Yeah, you feel me? Whole time, that's them giving us our credits. And we're supposed to do
and it's a positive balance on that.
It's a positive balance, exactly. So we got to go claim the credits. If you leave $1 billion at my house, yes, the moral thing for me to do is to call you and say, hey, you left it over here. But if I don't tell you about it, you feel me?
You forgot about it.
You forgot about it. You can't blame me and say I'm corrupt. You feel me? Like, you forgot about it.
I ain't steal nothing.
I didn't steal a damn thing. You left it over here and I've been making money off of it. Come get it back. I got it when you come ask for it. And that's what's going on, y'all. So, but back to the application. You put your first name, last name, you put your social on there, you sign it, you give it to them. Okay, whether it gets accepted or declined, it don't matter. Y'all throw that whole mindset out. Just like really listen to me. Alright, because I'm about to really tell you what's really going on. Alright, so you got to eliminate what you think you know is going on and really hear about what's really going on. So this is what really is going on. I'm going to give you an example. Like, say if I want a car, right, and I didn't know consumer law, right? Say I walked into the dealership and I was like, oh my, I want that car right there. I would do an application, right? Alright, so I'll put my first, last name on the application, my social, I will sign the bottom, and I will give it to them. Okay, from then, they will accept it, right? How many of us have been declined because due to credit? I know I have.
Me too.
How many of us have been declined just because of poor, or just you don't make enough or something, or just some kind of delinquencies on your credit report?
Yeah.
I know I have. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is, they put us in that game. That's a whole game. So let me tell you what's really going on. We give them that application, right? They take that application, y'all, and they deposit that application into a bank account. I'll say it again. When you submit any application, even the application that you're at your job, all right, as soon as you submit that application, that corporation deposits that application into a bank account, okay? That bank account is supposed to pay whatever bill is due, but instead, they trick the quote-unquote buyer and tell them that, hey, you owe us every month. And comes the monthly payments. You see what I'm saying? So that's how we're paying it twice. The first time we paid is with the application. Okay, and the second time we paid is when we pay off the car. You know what I'm saying? We make stats and say, oh, I done paid my car off. I'm good now. Yeah, you good, but you don't understand what's been took.
You out of money.
Yeah, you can't miss nothing you never knew about.
Yeah.
You feel me? So when a lot of people learn about this, they automatically say, oh, these motherfucking crooks.
Yeah, like, you get upset about it. And then it's funny.
Yeah, but that's why I come back and say, nah, I had to learn, like, I can't even get mad at these corporations because I'm leaving them billions.
Yeah, I allowed it.
Yeah, I allowed it. You feel me? I consent. I walked in there and applied. Nobody had no gun in my hand and said, come apply to this job. Come apply to this car. That's why they advertise.
No, for real. That's
an
offer.
That's an offer. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you give them that application, whether it gets accepted or not, they make money off of it. That's why I'm telling you, no application is supposed to get declined. So peep this. This is what happens. So imagine this. You walk in, they tell you, oh, you've been declined, right? Did they give you your application back?
Hell
no.
They kept my shit.
Exactly. That's like you going and giving somebody your money on the streets, and they say, nah, I ain't got it. You gonna get your money back, right?
Right.
That's just proper business. You know what I'm saying? But what's going on is we're going and giving our money. They're telling us no, and we're turning around and leaving our money, which is a violation. If we say it's a violation, if I walk into your house and steal your TVs and you don't call the cops, what just happened?
And you just got away with it.
Exactly. It wasn't a crime because it was never committed. I mean, it was never reported. It's no crime, no report, no crime. You know what I'm saying? So what's happening is they deposit that application, and what's supposed to happen is that application is supposed to pay for the asset that you're getting. A lot of people don't know that even with tenants with apartments, your landlord is supposed to be paying the rent because they accepted the application. Now, if they know what's up with the application or not, that's on them. That's on them. But they'll even tell you if you get, let's say you get into it with quote unquote law enforcement. They'll say, if you say, I didn't know they officers, what's the first thing they'll say? They'll say ignorance of the law is an excuse. Mm-hmm. So if you were supposed to do this to your landlord and he says, well, I don't know this stuff, and you want to learn it, or you're gonna have to take me to court, man, because I'm not paying you the illegal way anymore. I'm paying you the lawful way. The lawful way is exchanging the credits, transferring it to the account. That's endorsement. You gotta accept the credits that's given. That's why all your bills that you get are in positive balance.
So, for people who don't know, he actually teaches how to do this. We actually got an event coming up next week. I mean, probably by the time this video get put up, y'all ain't gonna know. But you know, you can always find him on Instagram and Facebook too for further information. Now, don't expect to come and thinking that this man ain't gonna have no ticket on what it is. So if you want to find him, you know, you can chop it up with him and he's gonna tell you probably the same stuff that you finding out right here. But if you want to further, you're gonna have to pay. So make sure you got your ducats ready. But where can they find you at when you know they do get the looking?
Yeah, well, I'm on Instagram, Mansa, Mahatha 888. That's Mansa, Mahatha 888.
And then you got the Facebook too. You prefer Facebook or?
Yeah, I'm probably maxed out on Facebook.
I feel that.
I'm on with the Instagram. It's just the Instagram. I'm at the YouTube, but also all that's coming. But for right now, just Instagram right now.
Okay, so you've been pretty much just living free though.
Yeah.
I still sometimes I can't wrap my head around that shit. I'm like, bro, how have I been letting these people play me all my life? For real. I feel played.
Well, it's a mistake. You gotta really think about it. We all started from a public school.
Right.
Everything I'm talking about now is like private information.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't go to private school.
Damn, when you think about it like that, it's crazy to be in plain sight.
Yeah, right there in front of you.
What? That's sick. That's really, really sick. But continue with your store. What happened when you went to go get your whip, your Wraith? Was it a Wraith?
Well,
the Rolls Royce, or when you saying you was trying to go get it?
Oh well, so this was 2021, like the beginning of it. So I went, again, this is before I went to any kind of class. So I'm just going off straight energy, you know what I'm saying? I just knew it was a law that said I'm the creditor, which is 15 U.S.C. CC No. 2. It describes what a creditor is, it describes what a person is, all that. So also I was looking over the law called 15, well not law, but the subchapter 15 U.S.C. 1605, which talks about the finance charge. Where it also said there's not supposed to be any cash involved in the finance charge. So with that little bit of information, you know, I driving past, I was in Atlanta at the time. I was driving past, my dream car is a Rolls Royce. So when I went to the dealership that was selling those type of cars, I went in, I'm talking about y'all, I had sweats on, man, looking dingy as hell. You know what I'm saying? Went in there, walked in, You know, they came to me. The dude was looking at me up and down with a confused look, looking at me like I ain't supposed to be in there. Like, hey man, I'm lost or something. So he was like, can I help you? So I was like, yeah, I would like to get a vehicle today. And he was like, okay. And he was first thing he says is we require all our customers for a 20% down payment. All right, so as soon as he said this, I know my first instinct was to ask him about truth and lending. I asked him, all right, do you guys operate up on the truth and lending, which I know all dealerships operate up on the truth and lending. Anybody doing business with consumers are operating under truth and lending. So he said yes. So remember I said under 15 U.S.C. 1605, it says cash can't be involved with consumer credit transactions. So
got your ass.
Yeah, you feel me? I already got him. So as soon as he said yeah, I was like, okay, cool. I said, yeah, let's proceed. So we go walking to his office. We sit down. Then he asked me, okay, what do you do for a living? I said, I don't want to provide that. He was like, okay. He was like, all right, how much you want to put down? I said, I don't want to provide that. He was like, okay. Then he put his pen down. So he looked at me and said, so what are you trying to do? Like, you got to put something down. You can't just walk in and walk out. Then I was like, well, you said you was on the truth and lending. I want to start a consumer credit transaction. Up on the truth and lending, there can't be any cash, can't be no down payment. So he was like, you know, this is a luxury vehicle. This is not an everyday vehicle. So I let him know. Yeah, it didn't mean nothing. So then I brought in, hey man, you giving me what I said, you're giving me misleading information, which is under 15 U.S.C. 1640 for civil liability. They can't give you misinformation. You feel me? So when I said that, he went to the manager. All right, he went to the I guess the boss at the time. So he came back. We went to the boss office. So I'm in this office. Keep in mind, I got sweats on. They got suits and shit. So he asked me, what seems to be the problem? I was like, there is no problem. I said, your employee is preventing me from entering a consumer credit transaction. So then I was like, he's forcing me to do a down payment of 20%. I did not ask him, let me ask you a question. If I had a perfect credit score, right, would I have to put down 20%? He said no. So I said, okay, that's not with truth and lending, sir. You can't give no down payment to some people and down payment to others. That's unfair. That's not an equal opportunity act. You feel me? Everybody gotta have the same opportunities. So as soon as he said he had people that didn't pay any any down payments, I was like, you guys are giving me misleading information. This is 15 U.S.C. 1640. So he put his hands up. He was like, sir, I'm just here to sell a car. I was like, I'm just here to buy a car. Ooh. So he was like, well, I don't know what we're waiting for. So he looked back at his employee, he was like, yo, run this credit. Let's get the ball rolling. So we get up walking out. The employee that was stopping me from doing this, and he started asking me questions like, hey man, what was you telling me? I've never seen my boss look like that before. You had him in there red. I've never seen him look like that. So keep in mind, y'all, this is my first time actually like even trying this shit. So I'm like, oh shit, this shit working. So that's all I knew. So I'm going back not knowing that I have to get past them and the banks at the time. That's why in my mind, that's what I thought. So when he was doing my application, I told him to put all the codes inside of my comment section. So he said, we're gonna run your credit. We'll call you in a week. I was like, what you mean a week? I said, I thought this was a fad thing. Like, y'all gonna get the answer. I'm supposed to drive off. You feel me? I'm like, what's going on? I feel like y'all trying to get me up out of here. So he was like, no, this is low. We're gonna do all the bells and whistles. We're gonna paint it how you want it. You know what I'm saying? This is luxury. We're gonna wrap it up for you. We're gonna deliver it to you. I said, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? They stroking my ego and shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, okay. This ain't no regular car. So I'm thinking, okay, yeah, they right. So I leave. Don't hear nothing. Call back. This is during COVID.
But they ran your credit though.
Yeah, they ran the credit. All right, went through. They never declined. Never seen no decline. So another week went by. Kept calling. Nothing. Another week go. So I'm at like a month at this point. And granted, I didn't live in Atlanta at the time. Yeah. All right, I was just in Atlanta at the time. They finally called me back and said the vehicle was sold. So I'm like, what the heck? What you mean it's sold? So I don't know how all that shit go down. So I'm calling my dad. Dad, like, yo, Dad, if I into a transaction with a corporation, can they sell the car? So you know, my dad can only tell me what he knew at the time. You feel me? So I didn't know what was going on. So they were telling me to come back and do another application.
What?
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh hell no, I ain't doing no application. So after like another week, so we had a month and a half, I end up getting a decline letter. You know what I'm saying? So I needed to know the whole process. So cause at the same time I was doing the same thing with like mansions and shit like that. I got approved for 34 million. Just got them using my mouth, and then not even pause, not even goddamn using like laws, like giving them, hey, I need you to do this, I need you to do that. It was just straight mouthpiece, like, hey, I'm this, I'm that, because it's true. We're billionaires. So once you understand you're a billionaire, your lingo gets kind of different when you're talking to them. You have more confidence. Now you don't feel broke talking to them. When you understand you got a social that houses billions, millions on your behalf, and they're supposed to be using consumer credit transactions, you're going to start entering more consumer credit transactions. We already enter them, but we don't even know we're entering. We're thinking they're loans. And most people pay things back to banks when they're living clearly in 12 U.S.C. 1431. Again, that's 12 U.S.C. 1431. It states banks are the borrowers. The power and duties of the banks is to borrow. So if they're the borrowers, who's the lender?
I am.
Exactly, because you lent them your credit account for the time being, and they pay you in bills every month. That's why the bill is positive. So if your car note is $500 and you getting it sent from whoever, that's no different from me sending you $500 a month. So you'll be happy if I send you $500 a month.
Right.
But we look at bills like, oh my God, they just went up on my.
Yeah, but I should be celebrating.
You should be happy, yeah. If they going up, that mean they paying you more. See, clearly something happened on the back end where they up the smoke. Meaning whatever they doing on the back end, they gotta pay you extra. That's what they doing. So clearly they doing things by law. We just don't know how to accept our money and use it. That's what's going on. That's why they call us minors.
Damn. This shit get real deep, honestly. Just from my own journey, cause don't think just because y'all meet him, I've been asleep. I've been out here trying to figure it out. You ain't just gonna get the shit first time around. You know what I'm saying?
Learn. It ain't an overnight thing.
It ain't no overnight thing at all. And you know, what I figured out is if you do want some information, you're gonna have to pay, and you're gonna have to pay in advance. You know, however it is, like information, services, you know, whatever the case may be, you're going to have to pay, in advance, and you're going to have to pay in full. Yeah. So,
I be letting people know, a lot of people say, well, what am I paying for? People got to remember time has nothing to do with information. You see what I'm saying? If somebody's making sandwiches all day, and if you buying those sandwiches, you really paying for the time. That's why people get paid per hour.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? It's the time that you give it. It ain't really the what you're doing at the time frame. It's really you giving that corporation that time. So when you get over a certain time, it start being overtime.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So for a lot of people tell me, why do you charge if this information is free? You're right, it is free. So that's why I tell people you can read it for free. But if you don't have an understanding what you read, it's gonna be like this Spanish to you.
Mm-hmm.
And no offense to people that speak Spanish, it's a wonderful language. But if you learn a new language, that's for any, it ain't gotta be Spanish, any language. You're trying to learn a new language, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be difficult when you first learn it.
Facts.
It's gonna be like rocket science.
Absolutely.
So what we're reading with law is legalese, and most people think you gotta be a lawyer. Not the whole time. We are our own lawyers. You gotta know your own rights. If you don't use your rights, you lose your rights.
Lawyers ain't nothing but the front man anyway.
Yeah, that's all they just middleman. They just here to regurgitate law. But as soon as you decide to get a lawyer, you basically waiving all your rights. You basically surrendering your competency. You basically letting the state know that you are a minor and you need help. So they gonna use you like a minor.
So lawyers ain't even in your realm. You don't even fool with them.
Hell no. I wish a lawyer would.
I wish a lawyer would. Who the hell ever said that in history of being black? I don't know. I wish a lawyer would. That's how you know this man about his business, and he ain't talking small. Really, this information is priceless. But I mean, sometimes you gotta put a number on something. But
yeah, I mean, I got some lawyer clients. That's why I say I'd rather the lawyers come and try to learn this rather than trying to fight it.
You got some lawyer clients?
Hell yeah.
That's deep. That's deep.
You got me lawyers take deals.
Facts.
So they ain't calling me about their job. They call me about their personal life.
I had a friend this morning ask me, You know, I don't want to pay for the class if it's free and I'm godlike. Or, you know, she actually said she's evangelist, and I said, no, most definitely, and I want you to know about the information. And a lot of people are always skeptical when, you know, learning something new. And I had to keep in mind that, you know, if you want to hide something from somebody, you put it in a book. That's an old saying everybody know about. You want to hide something from somebody, you put it in a book. So I basically kind of led her down a rabbit hole so she can start figuring out the information. So it is free, but the whole point of him doing the classes is for the people who don't want to read. If you don't want to mount a TV, you hire somebody to mount the TV. If you don't want to take out the trash, you hire somebody to empty it. You know, so bringing Mansa is to basically for those people who don't want to do all of that stuff. And knowledge is power, and everybody ain't trying to find out the knowledge. So if you do want to find it out, you're gonna have to come correct. And that's mentally, in a physical sense, like spiritually, all of that. You gotta come the right way. So if moving forward, you can either figure it out yourself or you can hire somebody that already know how to do it. Me, I'm the both. I'm in a mix. Shit. Ain't nothing wrong with having a mentor, and ain't nothing wrong with DIY in it either. But you're gonna have to pay cost of your boss.
I know I didn't do this wrong until I paid.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I paid.
You seem to be doing well. You know what I mean?
They helped me. I'm about to say, if I never paid for a class, like I don't know, I'd still be hustling and bustling, like trying to find out how to piece that shit together.
Working harder, not smarter. That ain't no fun. So is there anything different, like, that you would change, like the whole process? Like, you wish you would have learned it sooner? Or, I mean, I kind of do, but
I did want to learn it sooner. But I wouldn't change nothing though.
It's facts.
So what I'm at now is what
You supposed to be.
Yeah, everything I did was for this.
I always be telling folks, boy, y'all need to cut that damn hair off your cheek. But your shit kind of look kind of cool, like you get like a 70s type. Like if you had, oh well, you do got a fro, but you know, remind me of niggas about to get to go roller skating with some bell bottoms or something.
What's that?
Cool.
You ever seen the Proud Family?
Yeah. What was his name? Yeah. Yeah.
I forgot his name.
He was the truth. He only popped up every once in a while.
Yeah, that's how my sides grow in, growing like some sedges and shit.
Yeah.
Like pimp.
On everything. Slick at the mouth.
Yeah, I might grow them shits out.
Oh, you up? So you still finna hit the road?
Dallas.
Yeah.
I need to figure it out next 10, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Probably so. Drive out there.
Anything else you want to let them know before I free you?
I'm just here to let y'all know, man. If you don't want to learn it from me, you can definitely learn it on your own. But I'm here to let you know, consumer law need to be a top priority. Learning your consumer rights, because we're all consumers. Well, I can't speak for everybody. All I can say is, if you fall up under this category, if you have a social and you out here applying to things, or you paying a monthly bill for anything, you are a consumer. You're a consumer, so you have consumer rights, and I'm here to let you know you need to find the rights out, because the less you know, the more you're gonna pay. The more you know, the less you pay.
I need to go on the shirt.
That's really the game. It's not about how much money you got. You know, you got folks out here can show you $1 million, show you $2 million in cash. You know what I'm saying? $3 million, but I promise you, they got an accountant. And go get down from them. Go to their accountants' Instagrams. You feel what I'm saying? See if they flash, and they probably is, but it's it's a certain life that accountants can live. Well, some accountants, I can't speak for all accountants. Cause just cause you accountant don't mean you know this shit. You talking about them accountants that's managing $1 billion accounts. You know what I'm saying, for these businesses that they know the laws.
They know it.
Yeah.
I'm going back.
What? Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Definitely. Super shit. Got that music coming too.
I mean, I heard you saying that.
Hell yeah, I got that shit. I got
You already in the studio?
Yeah, hey, I got a song recorded.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot a video at the Atlanta Mansion event. You gotta come there.
I like them shoes. Yeah, for folks who don't know, tell them about the Atlanta event.
Atlanta Mansion event is sold out. That shit is sold out, but you can't get the recording. Basically, Mansion event, extravaganza, showing people how to get out of debt. But that's the whole purpose of this, y'all. The whole purpose of this so you can get out of debt. We ain't talking about consolidating debt. We ain't talking about removing shit off your credit. We're talking about receiving credits, transferring to accounts, and living for free.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? Period.
Yes, sir.
That's what it is. That ain't what it ain't.
That boy cold. So let that top down real quick. This real life, y'all. This is real life. On everything.
Make sure y'all tap in with the class. Learn these laws. Again, the less you know, the more you pay. The more you know, the less you pay. It ain't about the cash. Like I say, I know people with cash stacks don't know this shit. They'll pay a lawyer millions to try to get them out of something. You know what I'm saying? So be your own lawyer, be your own savior, be your own boss.
Period. I'ma see you.
Y'all hold it down.